It was done by a Shiba Inu. Perhaps now the time has come to act. Yes, the Shiba Inu community has been waiting for this moment, because the US government has just issued a bombshell update that might change everything. One of the most crucial initiatives on the Shiba Inu roadmap may now be able to go ahead while we await approval. Quick action is being taken by a project that has the ability to drive prices closer to the 1 cent target that whales have set for themselves. The last 2 days have seen the transfer of over 160 billion Shiba Inu tokens, and things are only going to get hotter from here. Can you tell me what's happening and why this is a really exciting time for people who own Shiba Inus? I'll explain it in simple terms. Important notice: we do not provide financial advice on this content. Before making any financial commitments, you should always conduct your own investigation. Nothing is ever guaranteed in the crypto sector because of how quickly things may change. Having said that, the current situation isn't merely unpredictable volatility. It seems like a major change is about to start. Let's begin with the most prominent headline. The SEC, or Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States, issued new regulations pertaining to cryptocurrency earlier today. It wasn't your average restricted measure though. For initiatives like Shiba Inu, it was a real game changer. No longer will stablecoins that are pegged to fiat currency or other very liquid assets and pegged to the US dollar be deemed securities under the new rules. This implies the crypto teams and developers working on these stablecoins won't have to endure a maze of red tape just to have them launched. And now things start to go insane. At long last, Shiba Inu may be able to release its stablecoin if this happens. Those of you who have been around for a while in the Shiba community will remember that the development team announced 3 big ecosystem additions in 2021. SHI, a stablecoin, Treat, a reward token, and Shiba Eternity, a collectible card game. Already the card game is out there. Something is already happening. The stablecoin though, so far nothing. The developers have stated that they will wait for clear regulations before launching SHI, which is 4 years away. Finally, the rule has come into effect. With their new policy, the SEC has taken down the largest obstacle. The runway is cleared. This could explain the dramatic increase in whale sightings throughout the last 2 days. Data stored on the blockchain indicates that more than 160 billion Shiba Inu tokens have been amassed during that duration. About 80 billion every single day. And please don't assume that's normal. If a whale doesn't sense danger, it won't make a noise of that magnitude. Some may be waiting for SHI to go live, while others may have heard rumors that the project is ready to proceed now that all the necessary regulations have been lifted. Let's delve even further. Shiba Inu's net flows have unexpectedly turned green, according to Into the Block, a reliable on-chain analytics tool. Things were pretty much the same for weeks. Interest was waning and big holders weren't purchasing. Now, however, flows are suddenly increasing. Shiba Inu are being snapped up by the wealthy as if something major is going to happen. Statistics like this don't exaggerate. It signifies that accumulating is taking place. This indicates that wealthy individuals are taking precautions before the word spreads. Another piece that completes the puzzle is this. Lucy, the head marketing for Shiba Inus, just yesterday sent a statement that stoked the flames even more. She mentioned that the aspiration of reaching 1 cent is becoming increasingly tangible daily. When discussing potential pricing points, Lucy has always maintained an even-keeled demeanor. Nothing she says is ever unwarranted. Actually, she has been a leading voice in pointing out that hitting 1 cent won't happen immediately. However, her tone is more optimistic than before. Just that fact says a lot. Everything will change if the SHI stablecoin launches now. For the simple reason that it introduces Shiba Inu to the fundamentals of decentralized finance. At the moment, Shiba, Joribone, and Leash are among the most volatile tokens. Their pricing is very volatile. That renders them unsuitable as defying tools for things like payments, borrowing, or lending. A stablecoin, however, makes the ecosystem considerably more workable. Users don't have to worry about sudden price fluctuations when they shift cash, invest, or save. It's the one thing the Shiba Inu breed is lacking, and that is not all. It maintains the ecosystem's worth. At this time, USDT and USDC are the most popular departure points for those seeking a stable asset. However, there are assets that are not included in the analysis. Upon SHI's introduction, users will be able to remain entirely within the Shiba Inu network. As a result, the ecosystem will see an increase in funding, user interest, and support, which will strengthen the project as a whole. It also increases one's credibility. The Shiba Inu would no longer be written off as a novelty breed. A true DeFi ecosystem with practical applications, well-established systems, and an enthusiastic user base would be the result. Institutional funding, media coverage, and perhaps millions of new investors can all result from that change in perspective. Plus, let's face it, prices usually go up when demand goes up and supply goes down. Simple economics. The interesting element in terms of pricing is here. Shiba Inu broke through a zone of resistance it had been fighting for weeks when the news broke. Many market watchers see this as a possible turning point. Optimism is skyrocketing, momentum is turning positive, and the price is rising. Perhaps this is only the first step in a much larger process. Remain skeptical. Let me give you more. Finder and BitGet analysts have long been optimistic about the future of Shiba Inus. Some predictions indicate that the token's value might increase by more than 7,000% in the coming years. If that were to happen, the price would likely drop by 1 decimal place in addition to surpassing all prior highs. Shiba Inu has great potential, according to BitGet CEO Gracie Chen, who recently stated that the ecosystem needs to keep growing. That is precisely what we are witnessing at this very moment. What transpired in 2021 should also be remembered. It only took a few months for Shiba Inu to go from being a joke coin to a real competitor. Made a lot of people rich. This startled experts. It quickly rose to prominence as one of the world's most discussed tokens. If this stablecoin does in fact launch, it may signal the beginning of a similar movement once more. However, this time, the foundations are even more solid. Lucy likened the history of Shiba Inus to Bitcoin in a recent post. She advised focusing on Shiba Inus as a brand ambassador if you want your product to generate buzz. Because it reveals the direction this project is taking, that message is significant. Price pumps are no longer the only consideration. Thinking about the future is important. The focus is on creating something tangible. That construction can now move forward at a faster pace because to the new US regulation. After this, what's the next step? There has been actual whale activity. All of the rules have been set. At long last, the developers can proceed with Shiba Inu without interference. The market is starting to heat up. The excitement has returned. It is possible that this is more than just a bounce. Perhaps this is only the start of something far greater. The idea of $1, even if it's still far away, you can now reach it. Yes, that goal might come true if the community remains strong, the ecosystem continues to flourish, and the developers keep pushing forward. So what's your opinion? Does this indeed mark the start of Shiba Inu's next major run? Post a comment telling us what you think. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you want to stay updated with every twist and turn of the Shiba Inu voyage. If you don't update even once, you might not have a chance to stay ahead of the curve. Please consider sharing this video with your friends and crypto groups if you find it valuable. We need to spread the message. The Shiba Inu may be about to embark on its most thrilling chapter to date.